Okay, so moving forward, we're going to do problem 51. So I'm going to click New, go find my borders folder, which will be on the network, pull up my PCTC template. Has all of our layers like the previous drawing did, so we'll go ahead and start with object, always our object. So this one, we're going to go ahead and start drawing the front view of it. This one's a little goofy, but that's okay, we'll tackle it. So this one, your first thing you're going to want to do is, I would draw the front, uh, it's a diameter, but I would draw that diameter. Problem is, if you do that, let's see here, we'll turn the ortho on. I think would be best to explain to you guys here. So I'm going to do the distance of 3. That's actually that diameter that it shows. So then I'm going to go ahead and offset that. I'm working on the base right now, so I'm going to do 0.875. Select the line and go down. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line. This is now the diameter where it says 3. We need the top view to go ahead and locate where this straight line is and where this straight line is, but we'll get to that when we get the top view going. So once we do that, we're going to start working our way up. So we'll go ahead. How I'm going to draw it is I'm going to go ahead and do an offset 1.5. This is going to locate our center of our circle up there. So we got that. And now I'm going to draw a line from our midpoint up. So once we have that, I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle because that's our center. And that says diameter. So I'm going to hit D 0.625 for the circle. I'm going to repeat it, go to that center, and go ahead and do the radius of 0.75. So now this is the diameter 3 down here. This is the part sticking up. So I'm going to do a line from that quadrant. I'm going to do snap over line perpendicular there. There, perpendicular to this surface. So now we know these are center lines, so I'm going to change these up, make these center lines. I'm going to do an offset 0.25 so I can fix my center lines real quick. I'm going to do a trim. Trims like this here, trim this, trim that. And notice how our center line looks nice now. I'm going to do an erase, E. And I'm going to do a trim. Just trim this bottom line, arc out. So right there's our front view. Everything looks good. We need to put a center line down here. Since we have to do that, I'm actually going to do an offset 0.25. Select the line here and go down. Extend it down. All I did extend for that. So I'm going to do an erase. Select that there. Next thing we need to do is an offset, and it says it's 0.437. I did an offset. Select that, 0.437. Select this bottom one. Now I can draw my circle. That circle is right there, and it says a diameter, so I'm going to do D for diameter and type 0.375. Now I'm going to do an offset 0.25. Select this line, go out, and I'm going to do a trim. Trim these lines here. Select that, hit E for erase. I'm going to do an MA, match properties. Select this line and do that there. Now, as we see, it's small, so if you double click on it or type properties, I'm incorrect on that statement. You're going to have to go properties. PR, do PR for properties, and then you can type 0.5. Gets that center line to show up. And I'm going to close that out. Okay, so now we have that. Only other thing we need is the hole going right through here. Since here's a little trick here, it says it's a diameter of 0.25, which would mean from the top to the bottom. So we are at the center, so we need to do the radius of that. So if you do offset and you do, I'll help you out here, 0.25 divided by 2, 1.125. So do 0.125, select that, offset that way, offset this way. All I did was offset. I'm going to do a trim now. Select this, this. And this is the only place where that hole goes through. Then you can select these and do an erase. And then this becomes hidden because that circle's coming through the right side. So hidden right there. We got everything on this view except for where that flattens on the side. So since we need that, I'm going to project the top view up. So I'm going to go ahead and select this line and draw it up here like we've done before, just projecting all of our features upward. Now we know that's going to be hidden because that's looking to the front of the part. We'll do this. This is going to be hidden. I'm just hitting space to repeat the command. We have this here. So we have a bunch of different features going through with this. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say that's the front of our part. So that being our front of our part here, it says the part's too wide. So we'll go ahead and select the offset and do 2. Select this line and go up that way. I'm going to do a big old trim, TR. So I'm going to select that and trim all these features out. Repeat the command, trim. I'm going to trim these out. Okay, so now we have that. We actually have to put that diameter 3 in, like I said. So to do that, it says it's a distance of 1 off the edge. So I'm going to do an offset 1. Select this line there. And while I'm there, I'm going to go ahead and draw another line for the midpoint here. Snap override, just holding shift and right clicking and then go on midpoint. I'm going to do a match properties, MA, or select this over here. Select that line. And right there is that center of our circle. So if we select our circle, do that intersection, you can hit D for diameter and type 3 in. Right there's that object. So now we can do a big trim, TR, again. Select all of it, trim that, trim all this, woo, undo that. You can hit U to undo, trim that, trim that. Then you can select this and hit E for erase. Repeat the command with the space bar, select it, hit space again. So now that we have that, that actually tells us where these come down. So I'm going to do a line, endpoint down this way, endpoint down this way. I'm going to do a trim. Right there's your front view. Good now. So now we have all that. We can come back and work on the top view. Top view. Now this is 0.75. It's 0.375 from the edge. So we can do an offset 0.375. And we'll start offsetting the edge here, edge here. Now that's obviously the center line. That's not good. So we'll just do a MA for match properties, where you can select it there. Now we can do a trim on this. Trim all this information. So there's the top looking down. Now we know, like I said prior, that these are center or hidden lines. So I'm going to do a match properties, MA. We have this line right here. You can change the layer if you want, however you want to do it. I'm going to do a trim, TR. Select this line, that line. So right there's them 2 circles. That circle going through, that circle. All we need to do now is this circle here. And as I said, doing this math again, 0.25 is that diameter, divided by 2, 0.125. So I'm going to offset this line here, 0.125. Select this, go this way. Select that, go that way. I'm going to do match properties, MA, because we know that's hidden and that's hidden. This is where you got to watch out though, because this is hitting the bigger circle, not the smaller circle. So you have to come up here, do your trim again, and you're only going to do it from these 2 lines. Trim that, trim that. Oop, this one here and this one here. You already got the center line there. I like doing my offset for my center line, so I'm going to do offset 0.25. Select that, that, come on, there, and there. Extend. I just realized something, if you guys thought of it or not, we'll see. So we got the center line of it. Now I'm going to do E for erase. Okay, this looks good, but I just realized that this hole goes through the base, not through this top part here. It goes through the base, so we actually have to do an extend. Select that line and that line. Our extend's located up in the trim. Select that line There we go. So we got that whole hole going all the way through there. Got that right one. So all we need to do now is this view over here. So we're going to go ahead and select the line again and just bring our features over. It's going to look a lot like what we've already done. This is our center line, quadrant, 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 quadrant. I'm going to go ahead and draw the face of this part as we're looking at it. So that only goes to this surface here though. So we actually need the other width. Since it may be a little bit to think about, I'm going to show you my little trick here. I'm going to do a copy and select this feature. And as we do it, I'm going to do a rotate. I'm going to rotate it up and then do a move. And I'm going to put it right on this feature right there. Only reason I'm doing that now is I have all this information I can bring down this way. So I know that this piece goes right over to here. I know this piece does the same. I know this goes right there. Okay. And now we'll start trimming this up. So I'm going to do a trim. And we know that these two are for the top part. So I'm going to go ahead and trim all this information right here and here. Just like this, because this is as high as we need that line to go. I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to trim these four things right here and here. And I can trim these two. We know that's a hidden line through there. So I'm going to do an MA for match properties. I have this hidden line here. So I know these are hidden, goes through the side of this. And I know this is hidden, goes through there. And now I can do a big TR again, trim. I can trim these off. So we have everything there. I'm going to copy my center line, match properties, same thing right there. Select that line there. I'm going to do an offset, 0.25, just so my center line is consistent. I'm going to do an EX for extend. There's that. And then I'm going to do, while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and do this center line here. Just bringing my information over, offset 0.25. I just typed O for offset. I'm going to do TR for trim. Select this line, select that line. Hit E for erase. I'm going to do a match properties, MA, or this icon up there. Bring that center line in there. I'm going to erase this E. So we have that. All I think we need now is that hole right there. So I'm going to bring that information straight down. I'm going to bring it straight down. So that hole hits right in the middle there, as we said there. Or you could bring it this way, either way you want to do. But I'm going to do a circle. And there's this cool little command, 2-point. So you can say, pick the first end right there and go to the other end. Now I have my circle. Just bring it down. I'm going to hit E to erase. Select it. Erase them. And I'm just going to bring that, I'm going to have a little center line. I'm going to draw a line here. Wherever you want. I'm going to just draw some random line. I'm going to offset my 0.25. Just so I have a consistent center line. Because I like my crosshairs to line up. I'm going to do a match properties. Doesn't look good. So I'm going to type PR for property selected PR. Type 0.5 in. Close my properties down. Right there should be my view. So now I can do an erase. I'm all done with this information now. I will go ahead and copy this line down here. I'm going to do a copy because I need to have a center line because this is a circle midpoint. I'm going to go ahead and just drag it down. Offset 0.25. If you think about it, this is actually a circle as you're looking at it. I'm going to do this, erase. I'm going to do match properties. There. So there's that part right there. I'm going to go ahead and dimension her real quick here. And then move on to the next one. So as we go, so I'm going to go ahead, select my dimension. What's nice, if you do it right and you select dimension, you don't have to worry about your lines going on to center lines or something like that. So I'm going to select this to here to here. I'm going to go, I'm just looking at the drawing as I go, making sure I get everything. So I've done them two, just move my way around. Diameter, double click on this, do PR for properties, go center mark, none. You can also drag this out if you'd like. Drag it out so you get your whole window. So I have that. And then 0.124, 0.15. So I'm going to come back up here, do my linear, go from there to my center since I know my center's right. You don't have to do it to the center of the circle if you have the center line. And then you're going to go ahead and do a radius and diameter. Radius. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the diameter here real quick. Diameter. And hopefully you're saving often when you're doing this. Match properties. I'm going to select this so I get rid of them center marks. I'm going to get my thickness as I keep moving around. It don't matter which side. I'll just do it here since I'm looking at it. 0.75. I'm going to do the diameter of that circle here. Diameter. Just like that. I'm going to do a match properties. MA. Now I got rid of that center mark. And then it says point. We got to add that. So I'm going to take this and drag it up. I'm going to go ahead, do a linear. Select that point to that point. And I just got to do the distance over. I'll do that over here and show the dimension, linear. Select that endpoint to this endpoint. And I'll repeat the command there to there. And I'll do that diameter. And we can throw a title block on this and call this one done. So we have that. I'll do a match properties real quick, MA. So we have that. So I'm going to just type an insert now. Insert. Let's bring that title block in here. Browse. We'll go ahead and pull A again. Click OK. So let's see if we can fit this in at full scale, 1:1. I cannot. But maybe I want to do it 3/4. So since we do, if we want half scale, we invert the numbers. 2 divided by 1 equals 2. So we're going to do 4 divided by 3. So I need to scale it up by that much. So I'm going to type scale. Or you can type 4 divided by 3. Just flip the 3/4. Let's move this, see if we can fit it in here. Since I really want to do this at 3/4 scale, I'm going to go ahead and move this. Now if you do move it, make sure you line it up properly. There we go. So right there, that's 3/4 scale. So I'm going to explode this. So this is problem 51. So I'm going to go A with my caps on. A1. Problem 51. Let's call it steel. Okay. Initials. Let's see your initials, not mine. 11-3-13. Problem 51. I'm going to call this going to be, you better use your numbers, problem 51.dwg. This is 3/4 equals 1 scale. So I can use the 3/4 inch scale. 11-3-13. Let's do sheet 1 of 1. And I'm just going to do text real quick. And do MK-A for the first item. I'm going to do a move. Right there's that part. So that's all for that assignment.